Africa sits on a crisis. With high youth unemployment rates, this could be an opportunity or it could be a ticking time bomb.
Unemployment in South Africa has hit a record high.
Young and unemployed in Africa's most populous nation, why joblessness is such a huge problem in Nigeria.
There were 7.1 million people without jobs.
Work hard in school so that you get a good job. That's what many of our parents told us when we were little.
Unemployment once again under the spotlight.
Unemployment in Ghana has been
Focus is on the post-millennial generation, the people who are between the ages of 15 and 25. What's to be done for them?
Every year, 10 to 12 million spirited, ambitious young Africans join the labor market, eager to apply their skills, contribute to their economies, and shape their own destinies. The stark reality is that the continent, in its current state, provides formal jobs to only about 25% of these young aspirants each year. This significant mismatch between aspiration and opportunity contributes to an unemployment crisis, particularly among the youth. In 2022 alone, 12.7% of Africa's youth found themselves jobless, their hopes hanging in the balance. But this is not a story of despair. This is a story of resilience, of innovation, and of potential waiting to be harnessed.
When you look at the outmoded curricula that academia uses currently, it's no-brainer that we're training our graduates that are not fit for work. Yet industry complains that there's an abundance of jobs, but they can't find the right young people who have the requisite skill sets that industry is looking for. And so when we look at the situation, there's actually a huge mismatch. In terms of demand, there's a demand, but in terms of the supply of young people who would work in these industries, there's a huge gaping gap.
According to the recent Population and Housing Census, which is a 2021 Population and Housing Census, we know that unemployment is rising, and for that matter, something needs to be done. Currently, we are looking at an unemployment rate of 13.4% for the total population. And what is particularly worrying is the unemployment rate among young people, which is people that are between 15 and 24. The unemployment rate is 32.8%, effectively 33%, meaning that when you take 3 young people within this age category, 15 and 24, one is unemployed. And this statistic is quite staggering because we know the dire implications that high unemployment has on economies. We go here as a country because we see that the industrialization drive, which is supposed to create jobs for many people that are seeking jobs, is not actually working. So the industrial band in our economy is not expanding. And for that matter, we find that our economy over the years has struggled to create jobs.
The problem that I see it is that academics are usually the hardest to adapt to changes. And this is because you have academics that have a fixed mindset of this is how it's been done for generations. Unfortunately, industry space moves so fast that academia is not moving at the pace that industry is moving at. Industry's changes so rapidly that the demands of what it needs cannot be met timely enough to churn out young people who would work to meet the demands of these industries.
We've had very interesting experiences with students who have gone through some training institutions, universities, polytechnics, and so on and so forth. And the experience has been rather painful for the students and for us employers. Because when somebody comes from an institution with a degree in a particular field, you expect them to have at least some level of knowledge or skills to be able to add to your existing, in my case, production team. But it has not been the case. Everybody we have employed from the universities or polytechnics, we realize there's the need to retrain. In some cases, you literally have to deprogram.
In 2016, I took it upon myself to embark on what I call a legacy project because I saw that, I had 2 young sons that would enter the world of work and I worried about their future. And so I took it upon myself, having worked in industry for the last 23 years, to really look at how we close the gap between academia and the world of work. And so in 2016, I established the Design and Technology Institute to really look at how we're solving the youth crisis and to turn it into a huge opportunity that I saw presented.
In the past 3 years, DTI has seen an astounding 490% growth, expanding from a modest group of 77 to training over 454 dedicated students. Each student's journey at DTI is enhanced by our rigorous and comprehensive precision welding program and comprehensive work readiness courses, representing another stride in their professional growth. But this is not just about numbers. It's about the ripple effect of equipping individuals with skills that matter for jobs that sustain and a future that beckons.
When DTI was established, I used myself to model the sort of young person that I would want to hire. And this was because of my experience working in industry. I knew the sort of person that industry was looking for. Where industry was looking for a young person who would love what they were doing, would stay in a job, and see the opportunities of also climbing up the corporate ladder. And sadly, young people don't understand that to be a lifelong learner means that you have to look within yourself. And so it starts with the mind. Having a growth mindset means that you're willing to learn new things. And this is where creativity and innovation comes in. And so I was looking for a young person who would understand that transformation starts holistically from the mind. And so we looked at a very robust curriculum that would really have a huge focus on critical soft skills that are really relevant for today's 21st century.
So the most important impact DTI has given me is that it's giving me a clear career path and also giving me the opportunity to intern at Metalcraft Engineering Service. It's giving me the hands-on practice and made me know exactly what I want to do. This is something I cherish so much.
Me bano. First, what to me looking who said them, but after school, no, and who kikani nyama or yen. Many ya pa. Or someone catches a ma and chowbe disika. We catch us or coach a pana or bet to me accomodica. A brochi probian or quiet befano. Eti ne me wo baby a. Mema na sa got the same school senior be ya. Dachi bino. Edi ye die beba me fee.
So being at DTI, I learned so much. I learned graphic designing, 3D design. The design innovation contains a whole lot of outline, and I learned so much. I also see myself working at Google, Adobe, Microsoft, and coming from Nima Mamubi, looking around, there aren't much girls interested in tech field. So I hope that this my journey will help all the girls, or most of the girls in my community, to pursue IT or to have a voice and be able to do whatever they want to do.
I quite remember one day I came to school very early, like 6:15. I thought I was the only one in the school, so I have my tea and stuff, and I was in the classroom drinking. But there was a sign in the classroom which says, "Do not eat in class." Here comes Madam who opens the door, caught me red-handed drinking my tea. She said, "What is written there?" And looking at the instructions, he said, "Do not eat in the class." And he said to me 3 times that I will never forget. He said this: "Do the right thing even when no one is watching. Do the right thing even when no one is watching. Do the right thing even when no one is watching." And I've never forgotten what she said. It's even in my head till now. So I've made a very great impression in my life to always do the right thing even when no one is there. To always work right even when no one is watching.
DTI has been one of the institutions I've been to, and my life has really changed. My 3 years in SHS can't compare to DTI 1.5 years. There's a lot of opportunities for me. The exposure, when I came back, the kind of respect and other stuff, contribution I've been contributing in my workplace, house, my entire life. Some of my friends have been saying, "Look, you have really changed."
Can just even begin to talk about Adolf as a student of DTI. The new Adolf today is more confident. He is a goal-getter, and I love it that he's taking the initiative to be the sound engineer for our new church. It's just exciting to see him just be himself.
DTI has impacted a lot in my career. And after completing DTI in the year 2021, I had the opportunity to do my internship with a mining company. And afterwards, I've also worked with an oil and gas company, which as I'm speaking, I'm with the oil and gas company in the Western region. That is DCS Energy Limited. I've also traveled overseas to work for other companies like Schlumberger, because with the experience that I gained from DTI, it has helped me a lot.
In the last 3 years, we've been able to transition young people successfully into really dignified and fulfilling jobs. And jobs that young people selected themselves because they saw that their oyster was beyond their communities. Young people, for the first time, were able to work on high precision industries such as oil and gas companies, mining companies, companies that otherwise they just didn't stand a chance. And the beauty of this was the local content bill also then could really happen for the first time. And so when young people call me and tell me that, you know what, I have an opportunity to travel to Australia, we realize that, my goodness, the training that we're offering transcends our borders. And that's the beauty of what we do at DTI. How do we ensure that our young people can take up those global opportunities that are out there? And so DTI looked at the entire spectrum of working at what we call a systems change level. Because for you to effect great change means that you should be able to work at a holistic systems change level. And so this is what we sought to do at DTI.
In an ambitious stride towards Ghana's future, DTI is sparking an educational revolution with 3 leading universities. Our shared mission, the introduction of the Precision Quality Curriculum, was developed to infuse students with pertinent industry skills and uphold international standards. This initiative has already influenced over 9,000 students and instructors from these 3 universities. Our purpose is unwavering: to establish dignified work opportunities for 3 million young individuals, especially women, by 2030. As we unveil this next phase of this project, we are not just teaching, we're shaping a resilient future for Ghana and empowering our youth for the world of work that awaits them.
We realized that for us to be able to put a name to understanding how things are done properly, we needed to come up with an ethos, a DNA of everything that we did. We looked at the expectations of industry and we realized that standards drive everything. And so what we did was that we took 2 words, the word precision and quality, and put it together. And that became the DNA and ethos of everything that we've done in the last 3 years. Driving our programming, driving curricula, looking at the needs of industry, talking about industry, standards and quality. Having a precision quality mindset was the DNA of enabling us to plug into a global market.
And therefore, I was very, very enthused when I came into contact with Mrs. Swanica on this thinking of coming out with a policy framework to enhance the existing policy on TVET, particularly emphasizing and bringing in the issue of precision quality. And I think it's not the quality of the product alone, but the quality of the people, the quality of the training, and the quality of the whole process and system, so that it can permeate and transform these wayside workshops into real technology and industrial focus for the transformation that we are pursuing. So it has to do with education, it has to do with the industrial pursuit, it has to do with the standardization. And for me in particular, it has to do with the policy.
So now we have a policy which talks about precision quality. The Ghana Standards Authority, working with all partners, is establishing a technical committee for precision quality to come up with the definitions for a product that is PQ, a service that is PQ, a process that is PQ. Through that, the mechanic in Swami can be certified as operating according to certain principles called precision quality, where buyers of his service know with certainty that they are going to get reliable products, reliable goods, and reliable services. That's a game changer.
Okay, me Carmen Kwan can person me to me best welder in Asante region first. Asana mako the whole Ghana. If you say first, no, say not pick your mind.
Kebia buy was a bit in table winner. Abo shop kakrebi. Name we are near there so now. It's a bit a baby. But a normal buy and I say, we shall shop no more three. We think we say, we say, you know, when I wear you. A boama, when you are going for a crowd, be you. My first in Kebia buy, we say, how fit to near the Nanka. It is a win near Bay, you must. We had dressing, I'm dressing, and in I pick you. And I'm my say.
Entity and so. I'm not meeting the boy apprentice now, almost to see a Juman. And he said, can I no more ma a Juman item? There's so training in. I'm not in free cramming. No, my hanging come on, where see her come on. Or much to be a come on. Can I no a kind new men in our boom? Also, ne, yet in your share near ma. Say shampoo cry the see her, satin roshi the see her, pomade the see her. It's a ma a Jumano eposo. And our customers no so. Na canon and I am frail, but PQT. So be banner of my being crowd to me friend. Now will be Sunday who watch it or say, oh, and check over who are any pump. Now I might a mark a Jumano a cosopa.
In a remarkable stride towards craftsmanship excellence, the Design and Technology Institute has pioneered precision quality training for 5,000 master craftsmen in over 1,000 SMEs across Ghana. This initiative equips them with the necessary skills to meet the demands of the global market. With a unique teaching approach that combines visual aid, drama, and practical lessons, DTI is making a significant difference. From carpenters to cosmetologists, our trainees are building quality and standards into their work, positioning them for international success. This is more than just training. It's about driving sustainable development and empowering individuals to reach new heights in their professions.
Africa is a young continent, but at the same time, the beauty about youth is that we have time. Time also allows us to really look forward into the future. And so I have so much hope for what the future looks like, because when you look at the global perspective, this young continent really would be the next investment frontier, would be the last manufacturing ground. Where the rest of the world is really aging, this is our time. And so for us to be able to really look at what the opportunity looks like means that we should be able to think at a systems change level at scale. Africa really collectively, because of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, really allows us to really cross our borders. Crossing our borders into other countries also means that we're also able to plug in at a global level. But the time has come where we really need to look at our human capital and how do we invest into this human capital to really take advantage of what the future presents.
Africa, a beacon of promise, sets its gaze on a radiant future of innovation and prosperity. At the heart of this journey, the private sector, with the dynamic DTI at its helm, builds vital bridges between academia and industry. This collaboration kindles a surge of progress, laying the groundwork for Africa's transformative destiny.